Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review and comparison in partnership with name Brand Wigs. I'm here to show you BelleTress PEERLESS. I have PEERLESS in the 14-inch version and the 18-inch version, which are both fairly recent releases, and I have PEERLESS in the 22-inch version, which I've already reviewed and I've been wearing for months. And I'm going to show all of them to you so that you can see how they compare. If you like this style but you're just not sure which length would work out best for you, then watch this video and I'll tell you what I know and show you each one of them. Grateful for the opportunity to partner with name Brand Wigs to bring you these styles. I love working with name Brand Wigs. They are a fantastic retailer. They are a great support to our wig wearing community, and all of these reviews that they help sponsor get so much valuable information out to all of us that I just can't rave about them enough. They have wonderful customer service, so if you're struggling on your wig journey, please reach out to them and see if they might be able to help you with your next purchase. Their website is namebrandwigs.com. They have customer service. You can email them support@namebrandwigs.com. They're wonderful. All right, you guys. I am really excited to be showing you this style in all three lengths because I love my PEERLESS. I wear my 22-inch PEERLESS all the time. As a matter of fact, I've worn it so much that I've actually taken heat to it a couple of times now already. So when I show it to you, it's really more for an example of the length, not of the wave pattern, because I have effectively straightened it quite a bit through my heat treatment of it, and I'll talk a little bit about that in this video. These are heat-friendly wigs. The fibers are spectacular. They are soft and silky. I absolutely love BelleTress fibers. I think they are some of the best feeling fibers out there, especially out of the box. But because they're heat friendly, they are sensitive to heat, and therefore you do need to take heat to them regularly to keep the ends from getting frizzy and frayed, especially in lengths that rub on your clothing. And all three of these rub on your clothing to a certain extent, obviously the longer ones a lot more. And I do have a video talking about this and demonstrating how you can take heat to a heat-friendly wig, so I'll link that in the description for you. But first, let's look at this cute one from all around. This one is the 18-inch, and it's in the color Butterbeer Blonde. As always, when I do comparison videos and I show multiple wigs, I will tack pictures onto the very end of this video side by side so that you can actually see them in one shot, side by side on me, see where the length falls and all of that, just so that you can get a sense of where it may fall on you. I do have my measurements in the description of this video, so if you scroll through all of the stuff I have above my measurements, you'll eventually get to them and you'll be able to see all of my measurements. You can see not just my head measurements, but how long I am from here to here, and you know, those kinds of things can be really helpful as you think about your own measurements and where this wig falls on me compared to you. Now, this style is bombshell is all I can think of. It's beautiful. It's got these gorgeous layers and a very messy kind of bedhead type wave, but very beautiful. It's not too messy. I have had a couple of BelleTress wavy wigs in the shorter sort of bob length styles. Sometimes their waves can be just a little bit too deconstructed and messy for my preference. These are anything but that. They are really gorgeous. And they do have just a tiny bit of permatease sort of in this area, all in here. And what that does is it gives it just a little bit of lift on the sides, which I think is super flattering and makes it so that the style doesn't lay so flat that it really takes away from the style. Now, not everybody will agree with me on that, and if you really like super flat, low density styles, these are, I would say, moderate density and have just a little bit of volume. It's not poofy, pillowy permatease. It's not the kind of volume that looks wiggy at all. I think these look incredibly natural and realistic. They have, all of them have a kind of, I guess, a significantly layered is what I would call it. Lots of great layers, which gives this style the really tousled, wavy look, a little bit of a bedhead, but definitely great movement and allows for some really fun styling. The way that I wear my longer BelleTress, I've worn it down a few times, but it is so long at 22 inches. It's just a little bit long for me. And so I wear that one in updos all the time. I actually have a video where I show you how to put a wig in an updo using my 22-inch BelleTress Peerless. If you would like to watch that video, I will link it in the description. You could use that technique to put this one in an updo as well. This one is plenty long to be able to get it back into either a half up, half down, even a low ponytail. I think it's got plenty of length for that, or into a messy updo, and I show you how to do that in that video. I love this one. As a matter of fact, if this one would have been out when Peerless came out, I probably would have got this length instead of the super long one, because I think it would be more versatile. You can wear it down, you can wear it up, but the 22 inch has been fabulous. So what we have here is we have a center mono part. I know most of you guys who follow me are kind of my age and older. I'm 50 years old. I know I've got some younger, but I think the majority of my demographic is my age and older. And we didn't grow up with center parts, unless I guess maybe some of you in the 70s, if you grew up with like the straight part down the middle. But for the most part, I think these center parts appeal a lot to the younger generation. But don't let this deter you. Here's what they did with this. Not only is this part pretty wide, so you have some flexibility. It doesn't have to be smack dab in the center. It could be just a little bit off to either side. But look at how thick this lace is. What happens when you have a deep lace front is it does give you some flexibility to sort of mimic a side part with that. You can make a somewhat messy part and have it be sort of angled with a deep lace front like this. So I don't look at this one as much as a center part as some other wigs that have center parts. I definitely think it has more flexibility than you probably expect from a center part wig. This does have the velvet ear tabs with the metal stays in them, and they sewed a ton of hair into these ear tabs, which gives really good side coverage. It does not have an extended nape, and it has the bra strap pull adjusters, which is very typical BelleTress wigs. This is what I said, kind of a moderate density. It's not high density. I mean, look at when I squeeze it, it's not bouncing back on me, which tells me it doesn't have a ton of permatease, and it doesn't feel super full and heavy in my little squeeze, which tells me it's probably more of a moderate to low density. I think this is a super perfect wig for updos because of the density. I also think that this would be a wonderful wig if you're not used to wearing longer hair to transition into something if that's your goal, because it's not going to overwhelm you with high density and permatease. BelleTress does a really, really good job with that. Now, you can see when I hold it like this, all of these layers. Because I'm doing a comparison video, I am not going to cover the color in this video. I will do a separate color spotlight on this one. That way this video won't be, excuse me, prohibitively long. Before I throw the 14-inch on, let me just put this one on again for you, and I'll show you the lace front, and then I'll throw the 14-inch on, and then you can hopefully remember how this one looked. Now, because of the length of this one, it looks a lot more layered than the 14-inch. It seems to me, and I'll show that when I put it on, that they kept a lot of these layers relatively the same length and just shortened the overall length in the 14-inch, which makes it a little bit less layered, as opposed to just shortening up the layers all around. Now, you do have a little bit of a fringe up here. You can cut a full bang in this, but it does want to really part right here. And so if you were to do that, you would have to take heat to this one to smooth out those bangs, to flatten them out, and to try to get rid of that natural kind of cowlick that it has, which is absolutely doable. And because these are heat-friendly fibers, really easy to take heat to it and not have to worry about ruining it. So don't shy away if you want to cut bangs. You're just going to have to do a little bit to get them to lay right. I also think that these don't always lay perfect. Like there is this one right here that just doesn't know what it wants to do. I kind of experienced the same thing with my other BelleTress, with my 22 inch. And again, because this is heat friendly, you can easily take a hot airbrush to this. And I would just take a hot airbrush, figure out where you want those bangs to lay. Do you want them to be center parted over to either side? Do you want to move it so that it's more of a side part? Do you want to create a little bit more lift in the front? Do you want to cut bangs and have them lay flat? Decide that first, and then take your hot airbrush and make the bangs do what you want them to do. What I would do is I would spray them with a little bit of water and then go to work with the hot airbrush. You can use a hair dryer and a round brush or a brush or some other implement. You can use steam. I would start with either a hair dryer or a hot air brush if you have one, and try to get the wig to do what you want it to do with just that. If it doesn't work, then you can go to steam. Unless you're super comfortable steaming, to me it's a little bit more work. I have to go pull my steamer out, I have to go get my distilled water, I have to heat it up. A little bit easier for me to grab a hot air brush. I do have a video where I show you 3 hot air brushes that I personally own, and I talk about how to use them. I will also link that video in the description. I hope I don't forget to link some of these. There's so many links, but that's what helps you guys. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so there's those bangs. And now let's take a look at the lace front. There's the lace. They did such a good job with these. Now, granted, there's blonde on here, and they put all those super blonde highlights up there, which hides the knotting. But BelleTress has really improved their lace front game a lot. This wig gives me tremendous coverage. Like I said, they tied all of this hair into the ear tabs, which gives such good coverage. You can still tuck it. It doesn't make it unable to be tucked, but these ear tabs do go down quite low on me, so I often have to move them a little bit out of the way, do my tuck, and then push it back down. BelleTress wigs run big. Sometimes I get one that doesn't feel like it runs big, but they do generally run big, and they're known as more of a big head-friendly brand. So if you are a petite, these are going to feel big on you, and you probably want to learn some modification skills if you want to wear BelleTress wigs. I have shared multiple videos in my community page of other videos that people have made showing how to modify wigs caps and make them smaller. I've not done that, but there's lots of help online with that, so keep that in mind. But if you've got a circumference of 23 inches, or if your measurements are bigger than mine, these run big. They have great stretch. So I think they're worth trying. Now here we go with the 14 inch. I have this one in British Milktea. That's the color I have my 22 inch in. I love this color. Oh my gosh, do I love this color. It is just gorgeous. And I've covered a couple of wigs in this color. So if you were to search on YouTube, Denise Sheets, British Milktea, any videos I've done showing this color will come up. So if you want to know more about this color, it is a stunning color. All right, guys, this is the 14 inch. Let's do a spin for you. Hopefully the back looks good as I just threw it on. So it's about 4 inches shorter. So that one came a lot lower on me here. But like I said, I don't think they shortened up these layers a whole lot. I think a lot of these other layers, they kept the same and they just shortened the length. So as you can see, it looks less layered than the 18 inch. So that may be appealing to you. You might not like all the layers in the 18 inch, and you might want one just a little bit shorter that's not quite as layered. But they both have this really beautiful kind of bed head wave pattern and so comfortable. These do not feel heavy on my head at all. When I wear my 22 inch even, I can wear, especially when I wear it in an updo, I can wear it all day. and never feel like I can't wait to get the wig off my head. I find BelleTress wigs to be incredibly comfortable on the head. Very, very comfortable. Let's take a look at this lace front. Again, see how they took the brighter highlights at the front so you don't have any dark knotting. Something I didn't talk about in the last video, but you know, the wigs do run a little big, but I don't get like big bulky cap up here. I think they did a great job of constructing this cap in such a way that it fits a wide variety of head sizes and has really, really good stretch, so that again, it's not super bulky on someone with, I have very petite measurements over the top of my head. I am average at 22 inches in my circumference, but I can get a lot of bagging up here, and I really don't get that with these BelleTress wigs, so they're fantastic. So something, if you're trying to decide, to keep in mind, this one is going to rub a lot less on my clothing because it's a shorter length. So you're not going to have to take as much heat to it or as often. That is going to maintain this wave pattern a lot longer. I'll show this to you, and then let me show you what I mean by pulling out my other one. Okay, so you see the bang on this one. It doesn't have as much of a cowlick right there. So if you were to cut bangs in this, you're not going to have to take as much heat to it to deal with a cowlick like that one. That's a variation you will see in wigs. All wigs come with variation, and that is one of them. Everything up here is hand tied by a human being. And so you can't get complete uniformity when someone's doing something by hand. Again, this one has the exact same sort of middle part, but like I said, you have got such a deep lace front that I think you could take it and try to get more of a center part out of it and just have it be a little bit of a messy part. Take some heat to this to get it to stay wherever you want, and then you can change that up. I am just pretty happy with how it came. I don't really feel the need to change the part at this time. I think it looks really attractive, and so I'm really happy with that. I think it's got just enough variation in the curl pattern and how, like, it looks like you've got cowlicks in your hair. That makes it look super natural and not wiggy. That's one of the things I love about this style, is it looks like someone's hair. It's not perfect, it's not uniform. Really great. Okay, here's the 22 inch. Again, please keep in mind, this one is, I don't know, here's my comb. This one is, I don't remember how old this is. It's at least 8 months old, at least. I wear probably even older than that, and then I drop my comb. And you can see there's a lot, it's very straight here. And that's because of the heat that I've taken to it multiple times. I've used a hot air brush on it multiple times because these ends rub constantly on clothing. They start to get a little frayed and a little frizzy, and then I take heat to them and they feel a lot better. I have not mastered how to take heat to a wavy wig and maintain the wave. I've heard some people say that they're able to do that, so that's on my to-do list to practice. I think it's possible. I just can't advise you on that. But this one is so much longer. And it's a little messy. I don't remember the last time I washed it. It's starting to smell like it might need another wash, but I wear it at least once a week, some weeks 3 or 4 times a week. And I always wear it in an updo where I take it in the back, I do a twist, I stick a claw clip in, I kind of make the top a little messy, and it's perfect. Go watch my updo video if you want to know more about that. So let me throw on the Butterbeer Blonde one more time, and let me wrap this up for you guys. I think it can be so helpful for you to watch someone put a wig on if you're new, which is why I always do this on camera. It sure helped me the first time I saw someone do that. So the bottom line is, this is a beautiful style, very attractive, very youthful, and I think the density is just right for a style of this length. Again, you can see how much more layered this one looks than the 14 inch. So if you're trying to decide which one to get, just think about what kind of hair you gravitate toward and how you like to wear your wigs. If you like to wear long hair a lot, the 22 inch could be good, but you're going to have a lot of maintenance with that one. You're going to have a little bit less maintenance with this one, but still more maintenance than the 14 inch on the clothing. The other thing is, if you want to do updos, if you like to have variety in how you style your wigs, this one is kind of a perfect in between. It's not super long, but it's long enough to do all of those updos, yet you can still wear it down. So I think they're all great, and I think they all are worthy of, someone could own all three of them in different colors and then have the best of all the worlds, but they're really wonderful wigs. Alright guys, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you once again to Name Brand Wigs for sending this to me. I will tack the pictures on the end so that you can see them side by side, and all the links. See what I mean, guys? This one's going to need to be dealt with, but that's my piece. You may not, I didn't have the issue on the 14-inch, so every piece is different. Anyway, let me know if you have questions, and don't forget about the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.